Okay, guys, welcome back to the new episode, which is episode 29. And we'll basically continue from where we stopped yesterday, which was, I think, that should be, let me, let's just do a look, let's do a recap. Okay, yeah, so we kind of like finished up the make an appointment screen. So right now we'll be moving over to consultation screen, which should be this right here. So this is what we'll be working on today. I'm trying to see if we can finish everything about consultation screen today. So let's get ahead and start working on that. Um, and also I also kind of did a stream on SwiftUI after this, so you guys can also check it up and watch it and let me know what you think. If you find it fun and entertaining and good. So yeah, so that is so yeah, basically yeah, here's where we stopped, and yeah, so let's go ahead and start working on consultation. So here's our consultation. So this is a consultation screen. Remember we did this in the previous episode where we hooked all this up to different screen. So that's what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and um, start working on the consultation screen. So basically, we're going to use this psychologist here, the heading in place of the heading that we have here. So to do that, we just head over to our app, and this should be close this off, close this, close the home, close the team section, the core folder, close that, close the auth folder, admission folder. So the only thing actually open right now is the consultation folder, and inside the presentation screen, head inside there, which is this, and next one will be here, which is the application. So you can create a controller right in here. You can call the consult consultation consultation controller dot that, and in here we will create a consultation, create a class, and the class name will be called by the same name for the folder, consultation. Okay, yeah, so we have that, and then we remove this constructor, default constructor there, we don't need that, and then we go ahead and extend get controller, X controller, not the builder, but get X controller. So extend that. Basically inside here we can just let's see. So we have this list of called list of consultations. So if you look at most of them are kind of like let's say we have planned, we have finished, we have cancelled, we have finished. So maybe I think we could make them start off being planned consultation, right? I think that would make sense. And maybe let me see. Cancel appointment. Okay, so if we just go back here and just have a list that contains all this stuff. So just add a dummy list here for now. Use RX. Add consultations. You can actually create a model in here. In there we can add something like consultation model. Add an appointment. So actually one of the hard parts in programming is actually naming stuff, naming variables and classes and naming files. So right now we're going to create a class that is appointment. And from what we have here, we could actually make so our appointment to have name, to have a final name. Yeah, so it's string, got a name, and let's see. Next one is a final date and time. Okay, last time I'll have another variable called date, and final string. So in here, so we don't need an ID for the appointments. Okay, give an ID for it. Then final. Yeah, it's okay. We give an ID for it. So have a psychologist ID, psychologist, that the user has an appointment to it. And next one we could say another final variable. We need it now since we have the name property here and our this. I don't think we need to get the psychologist ID. We just say final string and that's a psychologist image. For now, I think then say final say type. So that this type is where we have our plan, maybe to a plan, finish or cancel. So that's what we're going to include for the type. And we could go ahead and have have this. Going to make all this required. So this is what we are adding required because we are using not safety So we don't want this to be null when the user clicks. When someone clicks, instantiates this. We don't want any of this to be null. We want it to be filled up. So that's why we are adding everything to be required. So save this, and we can go ahead over there and say a list of type. Appointment model. So a list of type and appointment model. We're going to have here. Go ahead and import this. Okay, looks like we have some issues to fix. And import this again. Import it that part. That's fixed, so you could just leave this like this. Right now, you can move over to the screen, consultation screen, and fix out some stuff. So you can just copy this out. Just copy all this since we need them as it is. Just copy every single thing here. And in here, in our consultation screen, we're going to go ahead and just paste it in there because there's no need of us to start creating everything from scratch. Just remove this container we have here, replace that with column, and you're going to have a children. Inside the children property, one of the children is going to be this. Let's go ahead and import this stuff to fix the issues we are having here. So we need to add this. I think we used something like this previously somewhere in our app. Okay, this is it. So we use this, I remember. So you can just still use that icon right here. So let's go ahead and fix this for now. You can just keep this to be no. So say search icon, and main heading value animation controller, and yeah, we can use our animation right here. So you could just remember how we could go over here in our main folder and see how we use that. So we converted this to custom stateful UI states. So copy, move this over to where to be easy for us to be using. Okay, so just do this side by side. And we're going to change this state type to be a custom stateful UI we created previously to this, and this will throw an error. We have to fix that. Remove this. We have to have this state right here. And we're going to remove this from there. So we're going to say create state. I'm going to pass. So right in here first, let's create so something like this. Let's copy this over. So we're creating these states because these are custom states here. We need the constructor to have a duration animation, which it will use to initialize our animation controller, and we pass that to the super class, which should be this one here. And right here is requesting for this animation duration, and we could just say animation, create a new duration class, which should be seconds. We said 2 seconds. So we want the animation to be 2 seconds, which if you go here, will be the same here, right here. So that being done, inside our init state, we can get rid of our animation controller, call this, and then the dispose, we call this. So let's do that. I can say inside here, init state, so inside our init state, we just say get rid of the animation controller dot forward, no, not format, but forward. Yeah. Then remember to dispose the controller, and tap into dispose method and delete this. And under here, we are going to dispose the controller. So animation dot dispose, controller dot dispose, and we could just be making use of those stuff right here. Let's import this. So we want to create a test right here. I'm going to call that Consultation Screen. Title as well, and the title is going to be this text right here. Go ahead and copy this and replace the title we have here with it. We're going to save this. Remember to save it, and we can go ahead and use that in here. Not yet. So that should be inside our consultation screen. We are going to use it in our consultation screen, and right here inside our consultation screen, we should be right here. Replace this one with it, and this stuff. Then need this and take the move down. Let's see if there's any error we are still fixing. So there's none. I could look over here. So we don't have any error. Go ahead and save this. And let's see what that looks like. Look like our app kind of stopped working. We're going to run this again. And we're going to wait for it to show up right here. And so let's give it some few minutes. So we are just kind of like running our app on this code. We are running our own VS Code. so that it should show up here in our simulator. For some reason, it kind of like stopped in our simulator, so I don't know why. So you could go over to the consultation and see the animation showing up. So that's what we need. If you go back, come back again, see the animation working. The animation is working, and what we need to do is to have this padding right here at the post end. So let's go ahead and add that. Let's see if there's a post with it there. Okay, we could wrap it with container and then add this default padding we have here, which we keep forgetting that we already created this stuff. So we could just say over here in our column, wrap it with a container. So just say padding. Because right there, this one already has a padding. And just say padding left. So we're going to pad it at the left side. So just only target it left. We are going to use this custom padding right here. That, and see that worked. So there's a padding left right there and our icon, so both of them showing up. So keep it side by side, but right now to notice something, that this icon right here, we need to change that. And we can get the icon from here. So this is the icon we're looking for. Copy that, replace the icon we have here with it. And we could see that. So the icon has been replaced and it's showing up like the icon right here. So that's it. And let's go ahead and add this path, or this remaining part right here. So each of this stuff here, we have a divider at the top, divider at the bottom, right? Divider here. Okay, I think the divider will be at the bottom, not at the top. So just have this one here to separate this from the list. And so under our row, which is right here, we can create a divider. So we have a divider right here, and remember the color is divider color, and the thickness. So the thickness right here is 0.5. So we're going to make it to be 0.5, and we're going to save this. And there we go. So we have this showing up, this divider. But if you look closely, you see that it's not touching the other end. So the divider is not moving towards to the other end. So we need to fix that. So this is it. So it's stopping somewhere here and then moving to the end here. So we want it to take the full width. To do that, we have to remove this container. Remove that. If you go ahead and save that, the divider will take the full width. But now there's another problem, which the padding we added on the test is now gone. So we can add it back by wrapping this with a padding widget, and that we should say dot only left, and that should be our custom Yeah, so custom padding right there. Go ahead and save that. Yeah, go ahead and save that. We still get a padding, but right now we need to add this margin right here. So this is 20. So the space between these, remember, you have to take in consideration the what the designer is showing in the UI. Right here, we want to add a space between this and this, which if you tap on this and tap on this, you see the spacing is like 20 pixel. So you have to add that. And we could do that using sized box. And the insert size box, tap into the height property. I can say 20.5, right? Go ahead and save this. And there we go. So you have the spacing of 20 pixels between this and this. That's good. Right now, let's go ahead and create what we have here. Remember, we have been creating this kind of structure before, so it's not new to us, but we could just keep on creating that. So go ahead over inside here, we have a container, should be a container. And we're going to say the container, we have a child property, which is going to be a column. No, not a column. It started being a row, a column, but a row widget. Oh, let me see. Okay, we are going to make it a column since we are going to add a divider at the end, so we're going to make it a column. Children property, and the children's first child, in there is going to be a row that has the children, and inside the children we are going to have, let me see, we can go back to our appointment screen. Somewhere in our appointment screen we did something similar. So let me see. So here's our appointment screen. So at the top, I remember we kind of like added an image somewhere here. Yeah. So this is what we did. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Alison, I think it makes sense we copy it. Okay, so guys, it looks like I have an issue with the audio. Just fix that up right now. Okay, so let's get back here. So I'm going to replace this row widget with the row we just copied over. Replace that with this. And in here, we just do some changes. So since we need a network image right here, and psychologist, which is this, and we don't have a home controller right now. Maybe we need to add a home controller. To say home controller, which is this, get.find. That's enough. And I'll fix the error here. But I think this will throw another error because right now we don't have the selected user. So we can just go over here and select and tap on this to be our selected psychologist. So this is now selected, and so you can go back to the consultation screen and save this. Okay, we still have an error to fix. Import this, save that, and that will show up here. So for now, this is how we are going to do this, but we are going to, once we are done with this, we are going to make this to be dynamically changed from Firebase and not from the way we just did it right now, which is not good. It's not advisable. So what we could do next is, so right now we have this image showing up, and then the name of the user, which is this, and the date, and then the time, and what's remaining in the row is this. So this planned stuff here, so that's what we're going to add. So in here, we're going to move this test to a different row widget, which have a children, and paste that stuff we moved, and then we're going to, let's make it 2, which we're going to still change. Let's copy the test only. And then right now, I'll go ahead and okay, format the code. And if you want to format your code on VS Code, just hold your command key, and then your option key, and then your F key. 3 of them, or 3 of them, and that will format your code. Alright, here we're going to use the word planned. So that's all we need. Go ahead and save this. And that will appear somewhere here, but we want it to be in this form. So hover over this, you see 411. So it should be 411. Change that. And then we are going to change the color to be this color right here. And also, if you remember, we don't use the colors directory. We have to add the colors to our custom colors. That should be in here. Go to theme and app colors. We are going to add the color we just copied here. We call that metal green, and change this to the copied text. And there we go. So you can see the green color showing up there, and save them. So we call that metal green, and go back to our code, which is in not here. Consultation screen. We're going to add the color property here. Color. We're going to say app colors. Metal green. Go ahead and save this. And you can see that showing up. So here is it. We have the plan test right now, but we're going to move it to the end. So to move it to the end part of this row, remember the easiest way to move something is to use spacer. Since we want it to be at the other end, so you have add a spacer right here. Here we go. Um, no. Take a minute, mistake so. Let's see. Yeah. Why did spacer not work? I think something is wrong somewhere. Hmm, that's an issue. Let's try tweaking the flex property. If that is the case, I think we could just go ahead and use size box once we figured out what happened there. And we're going to use mediocrity dot of context size dot width multiply that. Let's say with 0.02. Let's increase that to 0.1. That's too small. Let's try 0.3. And just try almost there. Okay. Yeah, so I think we're good to go. That's it. Next, we'll be able to create this in a multiple form. So that it has different property like planned, finished, cancel, and finished. And so when the user taps, and again, we have to put in consideration, so when the user taps on this, and we could open it up, showing the main information like dates, time, price, about the consultation, and then so these are what we have to put in consideration. And we could say, since we are still trying to do it, we are still trying to test some stuff out. Um, Could grow. So what we could do is just go over to let's say our Firebase. So here's our Firebase, and the first psychologist is this person that we tapped in here, which is this. We could populate some parameters that will include consultation for the okay, not the psychology but the user. Um, so right now we need to add a new collection right here. We're going to call that user for that users. It's going to request together. So here is our user ID. We use the user ID to create a user collection. No, not there. So there's a mental health app. So we're going to the authentication part of this. Here's auth. I'm going to select either of these user. So I'm going to select this one which I created. I have access to this user right here. Let's go ahead and select that. And so right here in Firebase, this user models I have here. Let's see, it looks like. So in here, still in the same mental health care app, Firebase, create a new Firebase collection. I'm going to call this Firebase. We're going to call this Firebase collection to be users. Next, and the ID is going to be the ID I copied, which is that. For now, the user is going to have a name. Just type Kevin for the name property. Save this. We're going to have the collection users. So this users is basically the current user that is using the app, which is me. So I'm the users here. I'm one of the users right now, and this is my user ID, and I have a name property. And what I could do is in here, um, I could go ahead and say I have a consultation, arrays of consultations, a property called consultations, which is of type of array, and at the first index of the array, you can have a map, something of type of map, and the map is going to have values of type where. So I'm trying to think of how to do this. So each this consultation is all basically what we have here. It's representing this particular all these consultations right here. And if you look over there, you see that the consultations has a name, which is the psychologist's name. And again, it has a date and a time frame choosing, and the psychologist image. And then this word here says planned. So we could just go ahead right here, name is a string, And this for now we're going to use the psychologist name here for it. And the next one we're going to say what do we want to do now. So we have the name, we can have okay the dates. So it's say dates, the dates. So date will be March 14. So that's the date. The next field will be time, the string, and the time is going to be something like 14:30, which is 2:30. So 15:30. So you're going to leave it that way. And next one is going to be image, which will be psychology image string this, and you could get the psychology, any of the psychology image from the studies psychologist, and you can tap on any of these, copy that the link, and then use that for the image property here, paste it in here. So here we go. And let's see one anything that's remaining that we need to do. Because right here we added the name, the image, date, time, plan, this plan property. And we could say so that's a property. So you can call that a type, maybe consultation. This consultation type is a planned consultation or finished consultation, uh, or cancelled consultation. So we can just use that as type. Here we could have a string called planned, like what we have here. And let's see what else we need to do. Right now we have this, and so the price is, it should also include the price of the consultation, the price the user paid, um, and again about the consultation. You can just add those in here. You can just say price. That's it, price. Type of number. For now, we can just say 500. And then we have the about, which is a string. And go ahead and copy this over. Paste that in here. Go ahead and add this. So we are done. Go ahead and add. So this will add 8 like this. So about date, image, name. So here we have this. So right now what we could do is in our app, so these are consultation screen. We have this event schedule Margo and the rest of that. And so over here in our home, not in our home, basically in our, this should be done in our authentication end. instead of doing that in the authentication end, you could basically do that in the appointment consultation controller. We could have a function here. You can call that a function called void. I'm going to say get consultations. To get consultation. And what we could do is basically the same stuff that we have been doing here. When we say get Leo not here, so basically it should be somewhere. We did similar stuff somewhere in our home controller. And let's see. So here we say get view datas, and the collection we are tapping in is this collections users. Understand? Can copy that over and then use that consultations here. And in here replace this with it. So Firebase consultation, psychologists, and Firebase DB, which you can get from the Firebase DB, which is this FireStore. Copy this over. So we have import this. And right now what we could do is to have this, call this Firebase consultation. Just say call this user consultation, and makes sense. We call it user collection, not user consultation. User collection, and we are tapping into the users. The collection is users, which is this collection here. Users. Make sure it's the same spelling, users. And we are tapping into the doc property. The document we want to get hold of is basically so documents. I can get the user ID. So here we go. So it's called Firebase user. So Firebase user, not FireStore, Firebase user, and we can tap into the ID. So copy that, and in here, so doing this right here, we could just say over here. Let's create it's let's go ahead and create a purple auth controller. So like this. Say underscore auth dot Firebase user dot get hold of the let's see. Then we can actually return current user. So a Firebase user should actually have a, okay, I see. Now we're making a mistake, so that should be back to Firebase user dot value dot ID. So yeah, dot UID. Yeah, that's it. So get rid of the user UID. And we should just unwrap this. So once we know the collection we want to get, you can just call dot get on it to get that collection. And so we're going to call this. And right now, so you can just await user collection. Then when that is done, we can just print out what we return from the Firebase, basically using this. And with this code here, we are going to print all the user collection here. We get the user collection, and we want to tap into the what's it called? This consultation right here. Basically, the same stuff we did. That's basically similar to stuff we did in our home controller, where we are calling the get user data, and we then return value, which is this stuff. That's what we're trying to do here. Just get the whole of the data. Don't need to do the rest. Just print that out at the screen, and we're going to call this already. Inside the already, we're going to call that method. That should be get consultations. Go ahead and save this. We could go straight ahead, and inside our consultation screen, create a new controller called Finder. And remember, the name of that should be our consultation controller. This. I got find and add this. Save that. And inside our binding, I think we forgot to add that inside our binding. Make appointments under here. Get that put. Right here. And add this. And there we go. Import it. Save that. So let's try reloading our app again and try to see if we are going to see something printed to the screen. Okay, we're having an issue. Okay, so basically it's going straight to the users. I'm tapping into the Firebase user the value right here using the ID of what we created, of this user we created here, this ID. And in there we could, so you couldn't find um, type, no, it's not a subtype of string because you couldn't find an email of that user. All this data has been specified in our Firebase, and that's why it's showing those errors to us. So what we could do, since we don't have all these data, and writing a user model, so let's say if this is not set it to this, and that is fixed. Let's try the consultation screen. We got another error saying, let's see what I'm saying. Okay, nice. Save that. Before we get into here, we have to select a psychology for now. That's how we are doing that. Go to consultation. And okay guys, so let me see if that's basically what we needed. Looks like it didn't. So basically we should actually consultation screen. We have our consultation controller, which so I'm trying to console out something here and say I return that says I return the user correction. Adding the user correction right there. So I should say so we call this function right in here. When this controller is being initialized, you can just close this off. Call that create consultations and tap into the Firebase DB. Correction is users, and the document we are trying to get is the current user document, and we are calling .get at the end of it. We are getting, when the correction is done, we call .then on it, get hold of the value, which is of type map, and want to print it out to the screen. And so let's try that again. So Okay, so to fix that issue, and we could go ahead and borrow this Firebase auth. Go ahead and borrow Firebase auth, and in here, use our directory in here. Import this. So auth dot current user or UID. And that will help us run this code again. Let's copy that. Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah, guys. So yeah, it is. It's been returned. So yeah, we are returning the data as we want, and it's working. So right now we can see. Let's compare. Let's compare what we have here. So here is it, the user, and inside the user we have inside the user collection we have the name. You see, name Kelvin, name Kelvin. And you can see consultations, and you can see the consultation, which is this. And in there you can see the details, which is being returned, time, price, image, and whole lot of other stuff that we have inside here. So that's good. So that means we are getting somewhere. So with this being returned, all this being returned, so what we could do is to start using this right there, right here inside our app. So guys, we got a message from Sashi Natwa. So see, he says coding research is a powerful tool. Yeah, definitely it is Sashi. And it's fun. It's really fun, and I enjoy doing that. But sometimes it's basically kind of like a pain in the ass. You kind of like feel really frustrated when you kind of like go through some errors or some issues in your code, like what we are going through right here. Just feel like sometimes abandoning it, but it's really fun to work. It's really fun doing it. So thanks for the comments. So right now, let's go into our app and start using this consultation, which is an array. So right now, here, so our consultation is an array, and what we could do is right for now we could say what about if we model the data, because we already have this variable here called appointment, and in there, in this appointment model is our appointment model. Let's see if it looks exactly like what we have right here. So it has a name, which is a string. It has a time. It has a string called dates, right? Which is what we have here. It has an ID, but definitely we don't have an ID. We don't have an ID for it. So we could just remove that. Or we could add it later on. Just for now, just comment it out. So you also have a string called Psychologist image, which we already have here, image, and the type, which we have here, type bland, but it doesn't have name. It doesn't have price, if I'm correct. So let's add a price, and the price could be an int. No, we want it to be a double price. Add it here, and let's see. So you have price, time, type, name. We should have image, dates, about. So add the about section. Add that about. All right, now add that here. The next thing we could do under here, so we can basically map it. So you could use this factory method, appointment model from map. So we could do this. So basically suggesting what we already be doing in our code. So because we have been doing this in our code somewhere. So we have factory appointment model dot from. We get that from the map. And we're saying name right here. And data should be name. It has a property called name and the data, or else make it empty. And the time, the same property called time, or else make it empty. Dates, so for dates we have the same, or else make it empty. And psychologist image, but this is not correct. So there's nothing like psychologist image, but what we have is called image. So we press this. So we replace it with image. So type, yeah, we have something called type. Price, yeah, we have something called price. And then about us, we have something called about here. So that's correct. Go ahead and save it. And we can go ahead and start using that somewhere in our controller, consultation controller right here. So that's basically how we did this. So just return docs, return a variable called docs.map, and that will map it from so you just copy this, and we could just replace that in here fast, easy. And what we could do just under here, so returning value, not actually docs, so value.data. Let me see. Okay, I see. So adding map the value that we return. Go ahead and remove this. So we can say basically similar to what we have here. So okay, let me see. For now, we could just force on rapid, but this might throw an error in the future. So we are doing consultation, but for each consultation, which is element, so we're going to say consultations.add appointment model.from, not from JSON, that should be from map. So let's go ahead and save this, try it again. So we have an error. So let's try and fix these errors. So a type 8 is not a subtype of double. So and that worked, so it's working, and we could just use that inside our consultation screen, since we just populated it and everything. And yeah, so okay, just missed it again. Okay, guys. So I'll be stopping here for today. Guys, I have something I need to work on. So in our tomorrow we could continue from where we stopped, because what is remaining right now, since we got the data being added to our list right here. So this consultation right here, by doing it this we have here. So right now is there. Basically what is remaining is that we have to start using that in our consultation instead of this what we have here. So tomorrow we could just fix that up. So see you guys tomorrow, and where we continue from where we stopped today, and try to work towards completing the consultation screen. Thank you guys for joining. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you.